So finding that seat might take a little bit of adjusting, a little bit of shifting, like I say, make it comfortable. So if comfort for you means having one leg extended out, beautiful. If it means having both legs extended out, just adjust, be able to tune in, to listen, to take note of what your body is asking. And then with the eyes closed, feel how it feels to breathe. Many of us have created the habits of shallow breathing, of what we call chest breathing. As we take a few moments, as we sit here with our eyes closed, I want you to just notice what parts of your midline, chest, ribs, or belly, which parts grow larger, expand outward as you take those slow and full, timely breaths into the body. And then what gets soft, what releases, what lets go as you mindfully move into your exhale. And then seeing if we can find the breath in 4 parts. So a long, slow, full inhale, filling up even more than we're used to. A brief moment to pause at the top to feel the body full of air, breath, life. The third part being the exhale, slow and mindful, releasing so that there's space for new. But find the fourth part of the breath where you pause at the bottom, empty of air. And then mindfully, without panic, but with joy and ease, moving into the inhale. Nice and slow, drawing it out. Pausing at the top as we find ourselves in that fullness. And then moving into the exhale, letting the air release, pushing the old stagnant air that sits at the base of the lungs out of the body. Finding that brief moment to pause as you're empty of air at the bottom of the exhale. And then very slowly moving into the following inhale. Can you find a couple rounds of this on your own? Bringing attention and awareness to the breath as an opportunity to surrender the thoughts, to surrender the mind. And let's start to find a little bit of movement as we link the body and the breath. Trying to keep the eyes closed if you can, letting it be a feeling over trying to match or mirror what it looks like. So fingers just down to the earth next to the hips. We're still sitting up tall, shoulders back, spine long. Let's together take a cleansing breath here. Remain still in the body, in through the nose, out through the mouth. Moving the arms as you inhale, reach the arms all the way up to the sky. Perhaps even lifting the chin, open the eyes if you wish. Exhale, spread the arms, chin to chest, fingertips down to the earth. Very simple movement, seeing if we can slow it down. Inhale, circle the arms out and up. Lift the chin, the heart, maybe even the gaze. Exhale, spread arms left to right, chin to chest, fingertips to the earth, maybe even a little rounding in the upper spine. Inhale, reach up, circle arms out and up, lift chin, lift gaze. This time, bring the hands to prayer, lower them all the way down to the space in front of your heart. Let the eyes close. And pause here with the hands in Anjali Mudra. In our yoga practice, this gesture being the gesture of the heart before the heart. It is the hello and the goodbye that we give to one another as an honoring of our own hearts and the hearts of all beings everywhere. I'm taking a moment here, if you wish, to set an intention for your practice, to acknowledge what brought you here. What motivated you to unroll your mat, to set this time aside for yourself this morning? And what are you practicing while you're here? Bowing the chin in and down towards the chest, to ourselves, to one another, we say namaste. Let's release the hands, open the eyes, and shift ourselves around to our tabletop position. Opening the eyes, of course, is an option. If you can move with the eyes closed, try that. And once you get into various shapes that you're familiar with, like tabletop here, or like downward facing dog when we get there, I encourage you to try to reclose the eyes. So now as we find ourselves in tabletop, just start to move nice and organically, in no right or no wrong way, and just noticing what the body is asking for. Maybe moving through the head, the neck, the shoulders. Just letting ourselves really dive into the nature of the practice, the nature of our experience. Letting our own head, letting our own mind, our own thoughts get out of the way so that we can move into this place of pure awareness without being distracted by memories of the past or creating the future in our mind. We practice finding ourselves in the here and the now, taking about another minute here as you just move your body. I find this part to be very, very important so that we can connect with ourselves before just being told what to do and following the movements, the shapes, the poses. So feeling in these first few moments, body, breath, awareness. What we're going to do is walk the hands back to the knees, rising up on the knees and the tops of the feet. Lift the arms to the sky. Exhale, bend the elbows, open the heart, lift the chin. Inhale, reach the arms back up. Exhale, come down to child's pose, all the way down, hands to earth, bottom to heels, forehead to ground. Inhale into a tabletop and cow, belly down, lift the head, arch the spine. Exhale, tuck the toes, lift the hips, downward facing dog. Really gentle in the knees, the hamstrings, the backs of the legs. Inhale back into tabletop, just making a little pattern, little flow. Into cow, belly down, head up. Finding cat, chin to chest, hands to knees, rise up on the knees, lift the arms to the sky. Elbows bend, heart opens. Inhale, stretch the arms, the ribs, the side body up. Exhale down into tabletop. Inhale, cow pose, belly down, chin lifts, arch the spine. Exhale, tuck the toes, downward facing dog. Bottom moves up and back, long, strong arms. One more time in that flow. Tabletop to cow, belly down, head up. Cat, rounding the back, hands move towards knees and then lift towards the sky as you rise up on your knees and shin. Exhale, elbows bend, heart opens. Inhale, reach, feel the body stretching, feel the breath moving through. Exhale, hands to the ground, tabletop again. Into cow, arch the spine, belly down, head up. Tuck the toes, lift the hips. Let's find downward facing dog and make it uniquely our own. Finding the placement of your feet. Finding that in downward dog, our feet are about hips distance apart, meaning that the center of our heel would be lined up under our hip bone. We see a lot that there's a tendency to either exaggerate this and step the feet out super wide or to bring the feet more narrow. You want to have a little space between the ankles and the balls of the feet. Take a few moments to just breathe in the shape that you have taken, whether that means you're being completely still and witnessing, or perhaps you're pedaling out the feet, feeling what sorts of adjustments, mindful alterations you can make. Take one more breath in downward facing dog. And then tiptoe all the way to the front of our mat. Let's find ourselves in a forward fold. Inhale, find a half lift, shoulders back, heart expands. Exhale, fold forward. Again, inhale, halfway lift, really pulling the shoulders back, lengthening our spine. Exhale, we fold. One last time, lift halfway. Inhale, breath into body. Exhale with loving awareness, folding ourselves to the earth, hanging here for a few moments. Grounding down into your feet, finding your forward folds. Just feeling into what is happening. letting any unnecessary thoughts, breath, tension dissolve off the crown of the head. Let's put a little bend in our knees and with love roll ourselves up to standing. Once we get there, reaching the arms forward and up to the sky, we'll take our right hand to our left wrist, side body stretch to the right, reaching up and over, arms to the right. As you reach in this direction, press both feet down into the earth. Find space between the ribs. And then inhale, come back to center. Switch left hand around right wrist. Lean up and over to your left. As we lean to the left, press down further into that right foot. Inhale, arms back to center. Exhale, release and fold forward. Let's move through our sun salutation, lifting halfway. Exhale, hands to the ground, step back, downward facing dog. Checking in, arriving into this moment. Lift the heels high, round and roll forward into a plank position as you inhale. Lower down to our bellies as we exhale. Opening our hearts into a cobra pose. Lighten your hands, keep your elbows bent. Peel your heart open, shoulders back. Stay here for a moment, breathe into this shape. Remember, our practice is an opportunity to reshape ourselves. One more breath here, lift a little more. Exhale, fold all the way down to the earth. Hands under shoulders, press back, tabletop, downward facing dog. Readjusting the feet once you get there, resetting what you found to be your hips distance. Finding that your palms are really big, flat and pancaked on the earth. You're pressing not just into the heels of your hands, but pressing into the space where the four fingers meet the palm as well. Let's continue to move as we greet the day, saluting the sun. Heels high, inhale. Forward fold, exhale. Halfway lifting breath in. Moving with compassion and kindness, exhale, fold. Always reminding ourselves, let's come all the way to standing. Circle the arms out and up. Breath in. Exhale, hands to heart. See if we can go breath to movement this time. It doesn't mean it's fast. We just continue to flow. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale, half lift. As you exhale, hands to earth, downward facing dog. Inhale into plank. Exhale down to your belly. Inhale into cobra. Press into the tops of the toenails, the feet. Lift the hearts. Exhale back down to the belly. Inhale, tabletop. Exhale, downward facing dog. One more. Inhale, heels high. Exhale, step forward and fold. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale, rise to standing by circling the arms out and up. Exhale, hands to heart. Last one. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale, lift halfway. Meditation and movement, hands to the ground, downward facing dog. Get in the flow. Inhale into plank. Exhale, moving down to our bellies. Remember, we're not bulldozing through the poses. We're moving with love. Inhale into cobra. Exhale back down to our bellies. Tabletop as we breathe in. Downward facing dog as we breathe out. Pause here. Find that space. Reconnect. Let's start this reconnection first by becoming aware of our hands on our mat or our hands on the earth. Feel the feet on the earth and just feel how you press down to pull up through the arms. And take a few moments to breathe into this space. And then see if you can find a little more lengthening in your spine, pulling your hips up and back. Whatever that means to you, just feeling into the details, feeling into the body, exploring the experience that we're having right here. We're going to take a 3-leg dog, bringing our feet towards one another, lifting the right heel to the sky. If this seems to be too much on your arms or your shoulders, your wrists, you can also have your left knee down. We're going to bend our right knee, open our hip, and start to draw some big circles with that right leg. Big circles, moving the foot, the ankle, the hip, just circulating any energy, any emotions that's stagnant or stuck in here. Let's re-extend that right leg high to the sky. And with an exhale, bring the knee to the nose. Let's step the right foot forward between the hands. When you peek down at that right foot, that right ankle, and that right knee, they're all stacking. Let's take a little pulse. Inhale, straighten right leg any amount. Exhale, bend the right knee, come back into lunge. Dancing back and forth like this a couple times. Inhale, right leg straight. Exhale, lunge. Last one. Inhale, right leg straight. Exhale, lunge. Right knee bends. Left knee lowers to the earth. Arms reach forward and up. Exhale, elbows bend, heart opens. Keep the hips low, reach the arms to the sky. Inhale. Take the right hand, get the left wrist, and take a little lean to the right, opening through the left side of the body. We're going to release the arms and twist ourselves open to the right, arms out wide. We're still in this lunge, arms out wide, heart open to the right. And then take your right hand down your left leg, your left arm reaching up and back. Soften your gaze wherever it has landed. Breathe into this sense of peace and calm, strength and grace at the same time. Letting it weave into our practice and into our lives. Taking this into another twist, lowering left hand down to the earth, lift right arm to the sky, tuck the back toes, lift the left knee. So now we're in a lunge twist, left knee is up or down, really just feeling into your body. And now start to explore movement in that top arm. Maybe you circle out the wrist or open and close the hand. Maybe you circle out the entire arm, rolling it up and back. Allow yourself to be creative with it. I think that's one of the most beautiful things about practicing in our homes is there's less comparison of those in the room around us doing yoga. We really just feel into our bodies. One more breath here with the right arm up to the sky. Exhale, bring the right hand down to the ground. We're going to ground through our right foot. We're going to step into a standing split or balance, just lifting the left leg up. Hands are still on the ground, right foot is down, left heel is lifting. And then just play with movement here. Start to shake out that left leg, start to flex and point your toes, circle out your ankle. And practicing connecting, practicing moving inward. We might notice that when the eyes are open and the gaze dances around the room, then the mind is wandering. Taking just 3 to 5 more breaths as we balance on this right foot, as we explore balancing, strengthening, finding that sense of ease and grace amongst something that challenges us. Practicing with love and devotion. Left foot comes down to meet the right, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lifting. Exhale, fold. Find a little space between your feet and your ankles. Sink your hips low, chair pose. Lift the arms to the sky. Placing the hips, the bottom back in that invisible chair. Draw the low belly in. We're going to take a chair twist. So as we twist to the right, you're going to take your left elbow, hook it outside your right knee, and then bring your hands into the prayer position. Continue to sink the hips low. Welcome the challenge as an opportunity to build strength, endurance, muscle, awakening to that inner fire, the tapas that we talk about in yoga, the space of purification. One final breath here. Can you twist? Can you open? Can you feel? And then release into a forward fold. Exhale. Inhale, lifting halfway. Lower hands to the earth, stepping back, downward facing dog. Lengthening body, breath, awareness, finding space in the muscles, in the bones, between the thoughts. Shifting forward into a plank position. Remembering that the knees are an option if that feels like a better place to build strength as we exhale lower to our bellies. Bring your forehead down to the mat. Please bring your hands to clasp behind you. The fingers are interlaced. The heels of the hands are together. Roll the shoulders up and back. Inhale, lift the chest and the heart off the earth. You don't have to lift too high to find your placement in these poses. It's not about how it looks. It's about feeling in, exploring the moments of our lives, exploring our body, our breath, our practice. One more breath here. Exhale, release, hands, head down to the earth. Let's take a cleansing breath in through the nose, out through the mouth. Placing the hands on the earth under the shoulders, pressing back into downward facing dog. Grounding your hands. Hands are wide. Your pinky fingers should be almost to the edge of your mat here. You should be almost maxed out on space between the fingers as you flatten the hands to the earth. Bring your big toes more towards one another, narrowing the space between the feet. Lift the left heel to the sky. Remember that this is also available on hands and knees. Bend the left knee, open the hip. Circle out the toes, the ankle, flex and point, bend and straighten. So moving in any way that comes to you, but I ask that you're really paying attention to the movement. We're not just shaking and flopping our bodies all around. We're really feeling into what is appropriate in this moment. Re-extend left leg long. And let's bring the left knee to the nose, stepping the foot all the way forward. For some of us, that could mean a step and a walk to bring that foot to that place at the front of the mat. Hands under shoulders, knee over ankle. Inhale, left leg moves towards straight. Exhale, back into lunge. 2 more. Inhale, left leg straight. Exhale, lunge. 1 more. Inhale, straighten the left leg. Draw the energy up and in through the inner thighs. Exhale, come back into lunge. Lower your right knee to the earth. Reach the arms forward and up. Inhale. Exhale, elbows bend, heart opens. Inhale, arms straight up to the sky. Left hand to right wrist. Keep the trunk of the body stable and start to lean or stretch to the left as you open up through the right side of the body. Breathe with ease, breathe with grace. Expanding into even more of a twist as you release the arms, twist open to the left. Take the left hand down the outside of the right leg, reach the right arm up and back. You're gazing to the left. You're rolling that left shoulder back. We're continuing to lunge forward. And there's so much happening here that in order to be in the practice, the mind is right here with us. To feel our feet, our hips, our breath, our bones, our muscles. To be in this space of deep, deep gratitude, thanking the divine for all the gifts, for the sounds of the birds, for the presence of the breath, for the beating of our hearts. Endless gifts. Let's go into another twist, right hand down, left arm up, lifting the right knee to the sky if you wish, finding this third twist. Circle out that left wrist, arm, shoulder. Explore into your own sense of connection with not only yourself, but the divinity that flows through you. Honoring our uniqueness instead of trying to mold to society. Find one more breath here. Reach left arm to the sky. Lower left hand down to the earth. It starts to be a lot on that left leg. We've got it. Standing balance, right heel to the sky. Believe in yourself when things get tough. Encourage yourself when life wants to pull you down. Like right now, maybe gravity wants to pull you to the earth. Encourage yourself to fly. Maybe you want to bend that right leg, circle out your ankle, flex your toes. We notice when we do these things that can look so simple, but we do them with great detail and awareness. Even just standing on one leg can be such a profound experience. Last breath as you balance. And then right foot comes down to meet the left. Take a forward fold. Inhale, lifting halfway. Exhale, bend the knees, sink the hips into that invisible chair. Lift the arms forward and up. So just turning in the opposite direction this time, twisting to the left. Turn forward, hooking the left elbow, the right elbow outside the left knee, and finding prayer hands. Twisting the spine, the torso, the ribs to the left as well. Rolling the shoulders back, lengthening the heart, breathing into the fire, into the challenge, melting, dissolving what is not serving us. Final breath. With awareness, love, and compassion, release and fold forward. With a deep sense of filling up, let's take a half lift, shoulders back, heart rises. Exhale, fold. A little bend in our knees to rise to standing. Circle the arms out and up. Exhale, bring the hands to the heart. And close the eyes for a moment and feel yourself standing here. Feel yourself breathing here. Can you offer yourself love? Can you offer yourself a smile? Remembering that the work that we do for ourselves, the work that we do on ourselves, is for all beings everywhere. Let's release the hands, let the eyes open, and come into tree pose. I'm going to look down at your feet and ground into whichever foot you want to first. And taking the other foot and starting to make your way into your version of tree pose. Some of us might start right, some of us might start left. That's perfect. Just bringing the foot into where it feels best for you to practice that sense of balance. And then instead of being like the kids I teach that do tree pose and come down in half a second and say, whoa, I did it. Let's see if we can sustain it. Let's see if we can practice being in it with loving awareness, honoring our individuality through modifications, honoring our body by maintaining full, slow, steady breaths. And with that same sense of loving awareness, can you release from tree pose? Come back into Tadasana, both feet down, hands to heart, eyes closed. Let's take a sigh in through the nose, out through the mouth. Your second side. Whatever you're working on, whatever you're playing with, whatever you're exploring, maybe tree pose isn't the pose of balance for you today. Grounding through one foot, balancing. So I personally come to this space to guide you through a practice. It's always been my belief that if everybody is doing something a little different, then we're moving closer to that place of each of us listening to our own inner guidance, listening to our own intuition. The practice wasn't meant to be stuck or militant. It was meant to be a practice of feeling. Just notice, what am I feeling right here? And everything is welcome. Some of it we just build a little more, and some of it we welcome it and then let it go. One more breath as you find yourself balancing. With mindfulness, release. Take your left hand onto your heart. Take your right hand on top of your left. And close your eyes and just sway your hips a tiny little bit here. Really softly. Nobody's watching. Just feel into the movement of your body. And then repeating after me 3 times, just saying to ourselves out loud, I am loving awareness. Say it with me 2 more times. I am loving awareness. I am loving awareness. Keep the eyes closed. Circle the arms out and up. Lift the chin. Keep the eyes closed. Keep the eyes closed. Exhale, fold forward. Feel into the nectar. Inhale, lift halfway. This time we fold. We're coming all the way down to our bottoms and to our backs. Sometimes it's fun to keep the eyes closed as we shift around through these transitions. It makes us be a little more mindful. Hug the knees into the chest. And then if you wish, start to draw some circles with the legs, moving the knees out and apart and then in and together. Flexing and pointing the toes, the ankles. Letting the breath glide and slide past the back of the throat. letting that soft and subtle restriction at the back of the throat create a sound, create a purification for the air as it moves into the body. Into happy baby, hands now come down to the pinky toe sides of our feet or our ankles. And then soles of the feet turn upwards towards the sky, rocking a little bit side to side. And then once again, a reminder, if you can, close the eyes and just feel into your body. Do you want to stretch one leg away from you? And you want to roll towards one side and then the other. And take our happy baby and turn it into a spinal twist. Stacking knees over hips, calves parallel to the earth, arms out wide like a T. Dropping both knees over to the right as you turn your gaze to the left. With the knees moving to the right, see what it feels like to take your right hand and place it on top of your left knee, facilitating a little more weight through the legs, opening the shoulders and the chest. Finding ourselves here, not eager to move on or end our practice, just being right here. One of the best restorative poses that we can do for our spines, for our low back, just being in this restorative twist. Let's take a cleansing breath before we dance on. In through the nose, out through the mouth. Coming back to center with the knees, keeping them glued together if you can. Finding ourselves on that midpoint. Returning arms out like a T and letting the knees fall over to the left. Turning the gaze to the right, maybe taking the left hand to the outside of the right knee. Breathing into the lovely spiraling action of the breath as it moves up the spine, as we twist the physical body. Letting the fullness of the breath in these twists serve as a space to massage the abdominal organs. Stay here, take a cleansing breath. Let's draw it in through the nose, out through the mouth. Coming back to center, stacking knees over hips. Let's wrap our arms around our legs. Squeeze the tops of the thighs as close as you can get them to the ribs and the chest. Begin to lift your forehead up towards your knees. Give yourself a really big squeeze. Give one knee a kiss. Mwah. Say, thank you, body. Give the other knee a kiss. Mwah. I love you, body. And then we release ourselves all the way down to the earth, moving towards our final resting pose. Heels are on the earth, toes fall out left to right. And just for a moment to find a little more space, let's press into the back of our head, roll our shoulders together and down our back, lengthening our neck and setting the back down. Bend the knees for a moment, soles of the feet on the earth. Lift the hips by pressing into the heels. Lengthen the spine by drawing the tailbone in. Set the low back down on the earth. And then re-extend the legs out. Bring the arms out next to you, palms face up. And placing ourselves in this shape, in this position of Shavasana. Restoration. Removing all of the obstacles that are not serving us. Releasing any control by allowing the natural breath to flow. With ease and grace, we rest in the peace of the moment. Allowing ourselves to move out of our own head and into our own heart. Keeping the eyes closed as you return the awareness to the breath. Letting an exhale fall out the mouth. With awareness and mindfulness, starting to wiggle the toes and then the fingers into a full body stretch. Reach the arms, point the legs. Say, ah, ah. And drawing the knees into the chest once again, and then rolling over onto either side of your body and pausing here for a moment on the side body. We acknowledge the space as the bridge between our yoga as practice of shapes and poses, and then our yoga as practice of mindfulness to see that divinity in all that is. As we slowly transition ourselves up to sitting. Let's take a big stretch, circling the arms out and up to the sky, opening the heart. Bringing the palms to touch, lowering the hands down in front of the heart space. Finding the hands in prayer in Anjali Mudra, the representation of the yoking, the uniting. Bowing the chin in and down towards the chest as we take just a moment of silence to come into the practice of acknowledging, recognizing our own prayers. In the honoring of one another, the practices, the teachings of yoga, and the awareness that we are all one. Together we say, Namaste, Namaste. Namaste, everybody. Thank you so much for showing up. Thank you for your donations. You can unmute yourselves and say hello and goodbye.